Hello, I am Coach Nina returning with a word of encouragement, and it is centered around the title When God is Silent, He is Still Working. And I'm going to get right into it. I know and understand that there are times and seasons when you are praying, you're seeking God, and you're pouring out your heart, but you feel silence, right? You feel like He's not hearing you or He's just not speaking. No new word, no fresh direction, just quiet. And if that is you right now, please hear me. God's silence is not God's absence. And the silent season is often a working season. So I want to go over a couple times throughout scripture that God often did his greatest work in moments where his people weren't receiving new instructions. I want to go over a couple stories, Joseph and Hannah, and give you a little bit more clarity around what was happening in those quiet seasons. I won't go deep into depth, just give you a little snippet to give you an understanding of what I mean. So we'll start with Joseph. God was positioning Joseph even when he wasn't given no instruction. Joseph had clear dreams from God, prophetic direction that shaped his destiny and his future, right? But after those dreams, there were long periods where God didn't give Joseph any new update. Not because Joseph couldn't hear, not because he lost the ability to discern God's voice, but because God wasn't speaking new instruction in those particular seasons. Instead, God was working out the dreams through the circumstances around Joseph. When Joseph was in that pit and in Potiphar's house, when he was falsely accused, when he was sent to prison and forgotten about in prison, God wasn't absent. He was aligning every detail, every person, the timing, the positions, and the circumstances to elevate Joseph at the exact right moment. Silence did not mean abandonment. It meant the plan was unfolding. God didn't need to repeat himself. The dream was already spoken, and the destiny was already in motion. And we know how that turned out, right? So we'll go over to Hannah right quick. Hannah prayed for a child after being barren. She prayed year after year. She cried, she fasted, and she poured out her soul and heart to God. For a long time, there was no response. But it's not because Hannah lacked faith, not because God was ignoring her. It is because the timing of Samuel's birth was attached to a particular purpose and time. You see, Hannah wasn't just carrying a regular child, she was carrying a prophet who would one day anoint kings. She was just looking for a child, but God was giving her something greater than what she asked for, greater than what she was even imagining or thinking. So God's silence in this situation wasn't rejection, it was alignment. It was for a particular time. Sometimes the delay is not about what you're asking for, it's about what God is preparing through and for you. So, what is God doing in the silence? Often, He can be aligning your circumstances that must be prepared before your blessing comes. There are details working behind the scenes that you don't even know how to pray for. You don't even know what to expect. He could be aligning you for something you have no knowledge of. He could be protecting you from moving too soon. God sometimes withholds direction because you're already where you need to be in the moment, And he don't want you to move too fast or ahead of the time. It's about alignment and timing with God. He could be strengthening your faith. Growth can happen beneath the surface when no one sees it but God. He can be teaching you to trust him over the noise. Sometimes God stops speaking, not because he's distant, but because he wants you to walk out the last word he already gave. That had spoke to me also. So if you're in a quiet season right now, just pause. You're not forgotten, you're not being punished, you're not overlooked. God's heart is not distant. God's plan is not delayed for you. He is working in ways that you cannot see, in places you can't reach, on things that you have not even imagined yet. Some of God's greatest work is done in the quiet places where you learn to trust Him simply because He is God. So I need you to remember today God's silence is often the sound of Him working, and what He's arranging for you is worth the wait. So that is it. If this message spoke to you today, drop a prayer hand in the comments, and I will continue to pray over you in this season. Please remember to like and also share this video with someone else who could use a quick word of encouragement. And remember to check out other videos. I have many videos on many subjects, and I would love to see you back again. So hopefully you will subscribe if you haven't. Please press like. It only takes a quick moment, and share the video. Until next time, go in peace.